Where's that music always coming from? Oh my goodness.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cheap Pops. I'm the Heartbreak Kid, Nick.
Yeah, you sure are. I'm Dave. Welcome to Cheap Pops. Show that focuses mainly on wrestling, if you don't already know. I mean, we've got Shawn Michaels in Barbershop, and this I got at the Wrestling Classic, the old school WWF logo. So, got a lot to talk about. A lot going on in wrestling. It's been crazy lately for wrestling. But we're going to start out with the Wrestling Classic. We did a table at the Wrestling Classic 6. I know it's a small one, but this is the only one I saw on the tables. So this is the way it was set up. We were, well, here it's kind of weird, but we were kind of in the middle of the building, and then they were kind of all around the outside along the walls. So it was Mick Foley, and then the Blue Meanie, and then two indie girls. I can't remember your names, I apologize. And then the woman who used to be Cherry that came out with Deuce and Domino, Jessica Havoc, who was right in front of us, and then Masha Slamovich, Gia Miller, and Alicia Edwards from TNA. And then Val Venus. Fuck you, Val Venus. Mm-hmm. You're a dick. Bull Buchanan, who was awesome to meet.
We will get into that about Val Venus.
Yeah. The Sinister Minister, and then Muhammad Hassan, another really cool dude.
It was awesome meeting him.
Yep. Steph DeLander, and then Jackie Moore, Ken Patera, and then JBL. So I did that all from memory. I literally closed my eyes and went around the building and remembered where everybody was sitting. So that's crazy. There was a lot of cool vendors there. We bought a lot of cool stuff. We did most of our meet and greets before the doors even opened, which was cool.
And what was really awesome was that Havoc, when I handed her one of our cards, she goes, "Wait, I've heard of you guys."
Right. Yeah, that was really cool. And she didn't say it like, "Oh, I've heard of you guys." She was actually nice about it. So that's really cool that a wrestler has heard of us. Hopefully she watches, because thank you, Jessica Havoc. You were incredibly nice, and I loved getting a picture with you. So,
and she loved my Pikachu tattoo.
Yep.
If I can get it on there right.
So we got in line. Well, he got in line first for Mick Foley to wait, and I stayed at the table. And then we switched. I went in Mick Foley's line, and he sat and watched the table. And when I got up to the front of the line, we had a gift for Mick Foley. And before we even got up to him, what did he say?
Gifts!
He realized that we had gifts before we even got to him. And we pulled out our shirts. One was of our, I don't have it up because I have our back wrap, of our original Cheap Pops logo. And then we had the Cactus Jack inspired Cheap Pops logo on a black shirt. The first one was on a white shirt. I think it looks cool. Ours looks cooler on a white shirt. But except for your black hockey jersey, it looks really cool on the black hockey jersey. But he told us that the airline had lost his luggage and all he had was his carry-on, so he was happy that he had other shirts to wear. So to me, that's really cool that he was excited, and he liked that he inspired our show's name and everything, so it was really cool to meet Mick Foley. We didn't stay and talk because there was a whole line behind us, and it wasn't fair because we didn't pay to meet him. Other people had. We just wanted to give him the gift. So I don't think anybody gave a shit, but to me, if I was in the back of the line and I realized that these motherfuckers were just, handing him a gift and I was paying to meet him, I don't know if I'd be pissed, but
Are we motherfuckers?
I've been with a mom before, but, whatever.
So haven't I, so.
It was cool to meet Jackie Moore. That's a really cool Attitude Era, name that I really wanted to meet, so I enjoyed that.
It kind of sucked that nobody was going up to her table.
Yeah, that bothers me. It shouldn't bother me because what do I care? They're getting paid anyways. But to me, when somebody like her, who is a Hall of Famer, who is an icon, and nobody's we didn't watch it the whole time, so people could have been, but there was a long time where she was just sitting there and nobody was. Same with Bull Buchanan.
Yeah.
Val Venus, there's a reason why people weren't going up to him.
Still, fuck you, Val.
See, I don't care what your political leanings are or trans issue thoughts are. But his thing was hello ladies when he was the porn star. Fine. But when you're wearing a shirt that says hello biological ladies, Val Venus, you're trying to start shit. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get people to fucking get pissed about it so you can act like you're all offended because they're offended by what you put on your shirt. You are trying to start shit. You're a shit disturber. And I had no desire to, plus you don't even look like you used to, so I had no desire to go up to you. Like I said, if you don't like trans people, that's fine. But the fact that you did that, I know that's why you did it.
Yep.
And you can say that that's not why you did it. That's bullshit. You wore that shirt because you wanted people to say something about it so you could start something. I've seen enough of your videos to know that's exactly what you wanted to happen.
That or you trying to stay fucking relevant.
Yeah, which you aren't.
No.
At the Attitude Era, I don't hear anybody talking about Val Venus being relevant.
No.
I hear people talking about Al Snow being more relevant than Val Venus.
Oh, definitely. And we met Al Snow.
Yeah.
And he's very nice.
He's a very cool dude. It was a lot of fun. I mean, JBL was gone for a lot of it. Like, he left for like a good 45 minutes or so, maybe even longer than that. Muhammad Hassan was incredibly cool. He saw my my Scarface phone case, and he talked about that. He was like, that's one of those kind of movies where you've got to sit down and watch it. Like, you've got to prepare to watch it. I said, yeah, like The Godfather. You know, movies like that, you've really got to put an investment into it. He's like, oh yeah, Jaws. Like, movies like that, you've really got to, you know, invest time in it. It was the first, he said this too, it's the first time he's ever had a banner behind him, like with his WWE picture and like Muhammad Hassan. He said that's the first time he's gone to an event where they've had a banner behind him. So that, you know, he was really cool to talk. Most wrestlers are nice to talk to. Like Steph DeLander wasn't, she put her arm right around me. Like, I didn't ask her to like put her arm around me. A lot of the women are cool like that, but I've said it before, I don't put my arm around their waist. That's not my thing. A lot of guys do. I just, out of respect, I'm not going to put my arm around your waist because I don't know how that's going to make you feel. You know what I mean? Like, so, just respectful as far as I'm concerned. I was going to get a picture with Ken Patera, but he doesn't look anything like he used to. Kind of like with the Tonga Kid the last time. Like, he was wearing his sunglasses the whole time. Tonga Kid. Wearing his sunglasses the whole time, and he just didn't look like... I'm not saying everybody's got to look like the way they used to, but if I have to, like, explain who it is every time I show the picture to somebody, I really don't... Like, we're going to meet Henry Winkler next month. I'm not going to have to explain to anybody who Henry Winkler is, even though he looks a lot different than he used to. You can still tell that that's Henry Winkler. If I saw Ken Patera now, I wouldn't know who he was if he wasn't at a wrestling convention.
I had to have you tell me who the fuck he was.
Right. Blue Meanie was incredibly cool as well. I got his signature on my kendo stick, and the Sinister Minister was incredibly cool. What did you have him do? What'd you have the Sinister Minister do to me?
Choke you out. And he was happy to do it.
Delighted to do it. I mean, he didn't really choke me. He just put his hands around my neck. But I made a face, you know, and it was a lot of fun. So I have a regular picture with him, and then, you know, his idea. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, we got a few subscribers, and we met some really nice people. The guy selling merch behind us, we've met before, and we talked to him through the, you know, a lot of the vendors there were really easy to talk to, so it was a lot of fun.
That's where I got some of the stuff was from him.
Yep, and the iguana that's on the table, Mr. Iguana from Worlds Collide, we had that on our table as well, and people talked about that, so that was cool. Why don't you talk about some of the stuff that you bought while you were there?
Well, you bought me the Eddie Guerrero.
And you put the shirt on it, right?
Yes.
The Eddie Guerrero is my favorite wrestler shirt.
I want to get one of those shirts.
Yeah.
And it's hard to track down.
It is.
Then I bought the Rey Mysterio off from Walmart.
Yep.
Because I had him in the package, and I'm like, hey, $13 for him? Yep. Why not? Then I spotted this on the table. The guy gave me a deal on it.
That's a cool Ray. I like the pink outfit.
He wrestled Dean Malenko for the Cruiserweight title at this point.
Oh, okay.
And this is when they're at the MGM studio.
Oh, that's and that's the same line where the fake Diesel was in. So that's
yep.
What else you got?
And I know you bought this one, but I pre-ordered this one, and it came finally.
Oh, yeah, the Undertaker as Kane. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna show that after. I bought that at
And
Classic.
I wanted to bring it, but I didn't to put it on the table. I made the actual Kane from '98 with this one.
Oh, that's cool. And if you don't know who Mr. Iguana is, watch Worlds Collide. It's on YouTube. The AAA, and WWE collab. Mr. Iguana is going to be a huge star in WWE.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm surprised you cut the glasses on this long.
It's hard to see out of them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Then I bought 1966 Batman, Adam West.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, there were a lot of cool vendors and a lot of cool stuff. My thing is, put prices on your stuff. There were a lot of vendors that did, but there were other ones that didn't.
Yes.
And even if you just put it on the corner so the person can take the tag off it when they buy it, if I have to ask you how much something is, I know you're just going to pick a price out of your ass, as soon as, because you're gauging how much I'm actually going to spend, and I hate that. That drives me fucking nuts. Especially if you pull out your phone and you go on eBay and you quote me the eBay price. That's bullshit too.
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, I can't say this. The guy went down from the eBay price.
Right.
And he said $20 for this.
That's the Chase Stardust, right?
Yes. And I waited through the whole show for this.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff just doesn't sell, right away, and, but...
And he said he had somebody looking at it, and the guy said $20 was too much for it.
And it's in the Protector already,
exactly.
Too, so, yeah,
so
that's cool.
That's reasonable, $20
No, I like that. I like that a lot. And I have the Blue Meanie on the table, and Mick Foley, of course, because Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan are on here just because, and Shawn Michaels because somebody decided to be Shawn Michaels. But this Blue Meanie, I'm going to make a display. I've already started a display with my kendo stick and the action figures of the people on the kendo stick with it. So I'm glad I have a Blue Meanie to go with it.
I had nowhere where to buy a toy kendo stick right on Amazon for like $3 or $5.
Yeah, you can buy them at FYE too. So, since
I mean for your little action figures,
right? We'll do this after. But what I grabbed was, first off, I saw this and I had to own it.
The old school Umaga.
This is really cool. He's got doing the spike. It's got the Samoa on his stomach and his braids and everything.
I think this was his second.
It's in really good condition. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I think this was his second one.
And this Kevin Nash, I believe this is what he was wearing when he beat Goldberg. So I think that's but I think this Umaga is really, really cool.
Nope, this was just after he was champion.
Okay, well, whatever. This I had to get. It was like $23. Bruno Sammartino, LJN. I met Bruno, and to me, this is really, really cool.
Should we talk about what we talked about in the car when we were watching the Macho Man stuff where he wrestled?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
That the tights that he wore looks like Dad's underwear.
Oh, yeah. Bruno had, like, the tights all the way up, like, almost to his armpits, and it looked like he was legit wearing underwear, and the high socks did not help the image at all. So.
His boots were so tight that they look like fucking socks.
Yeah, it was not a good look. So I was not watching as I was driving. We just have, a screen, and, he watches it while we're driving. It's just different than music, but
it's a lot better than music.
It is. This was, I'm going to take it out of the package because I'm going to put it with my Hurricane figure, but $6 for a damaged box Molly Holly, Mighty Molly, hell yeah.
Right.
I snatched that up as soon as I saw it.
I wish I could find the Rey Mysterio for dirt cheap.
Right, and I'm going to take the price tag off of this. $30 for The Undertaker as Kane, the same one that he showed with the WWF title there, the Kane mask, two different Kane heads. That's badass to me. For $30, I had to own it.
Right.
This, I didn't know when I bought it. This is the first ever event from Ring of Honor.
Oh, that is awesome.
From February 29th, 2002, the Era of Honor begins. It's the remastered one, but I don't care. For $15 to have the Ring of Honor first show, and the disc is pristine. It was as if that thing was sealed and nobody ever touched it.
Ooh.
It's amazing. I'm so happy I grabbed that. These, I love having, magazines. Too Cool and a Bret Hart one. I have a display. I'm going to do a display where I have a styrofoam head with the Scotty 2 Hottie hat, the Grandmaster Sexay goggles, and Rikishi sunglasses, official WWF ones, and I'm going to put this behind it. I think that's going to look really cool. And I mean,
your favorite?
Yeah, Bret
One of your favorites
from 1996. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Absolutely. I love going through these and and rereading them. It's just really cool to see. So I'm really happy about that. These are for you. You didn't know that I did this, but since you like to cosplay as the Hulkster so much, I had a special logo made for you.
Yes!
From when Hulk Hogan was in WCW, instead of Hulkster, it's the Nickster. I had them do one in yellow and one in red. So the yellow one also has the red font on it. I thought you would really like those because you plan on doing videos as the Nickster.
And I have my bandana.
Yep, and the woman that does our stuff, she is on Etsy. Her name is Teresa Romani. I will be posting in the description a link to her Etsy page. If you see any of our cool logos other than our original Cheap Pops logo, she's done all of them. So I love what she does. So if you need a logo done, definitely go see her.
I fucking love it.
She does good stuff. I think those are really cool. So
we gotta give a shout out to the YouTube kid.
Oh, what? I hate to say it, I don't remember what the guy's name was. So.
Give me a sec.
There's a lot going on in wrestling right now. The Monster Abyss is in WWE 2K 2025, or he's gonna be, right?
Yes. There we go.
Mavs Main Event, at Mavs Main Event. Yeah, that kid was really cool, so yeah, check out that. I was thinking that we've talked about it before. Abyss needs to do an appearance in the Royal Rumble, and I think I've come up with the perfect way to do it. Right now in NXT is Jasper Troy, a huge dude who he won the first season of LFG. He comes out in a black cutoff vest, same as Abyss, a huge chain around his neck, same as Abyss. What's his finishing move? The Black Hole Slam, just like Abyss. The next year's Rumble, you have Jasper Troy come out and destroy like 3 guys. Black Hole Slams on all 3 of them and then just shit cans them over the top rope. Countdown goes, Abyss's music hits, the pyro goes off, he's got the chain around his neck. He comes in, and him and Jasper Troy fight. You make Abyss look really strong. He gives a Black Hole Slam, but Jasper Troy, reverses and throws Abyss outside the ring. Perfect way to have Abyss. You have Abyss look strong, and you build up Jasper Troy, and Abyss passes the torch to a new guy.
Perfect way for him to retire.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's already announced that he wants to retire.
Exactly. So I don't see why that's not a bad scenario. That just off the top of my head, I thought of that, and I was just like, I think that would be really cool. I think the pop for Abyss would be amazing. So,
absolutely.
That's just my thought. What do you think about Goldberg against Gunther?
As long as Gunther goes over.
Yeah, I truly hope they don't have Goldberg win the World Heavyweight title. Especially since he was limping to the ring on Raw.
Right.
And he says that he can barely lift anything with one shoulder. So his 2 moves are the spear and the jackhammer. One he's got to run, and the other one he's got to lift people up.
So he's basically fucked.
I think this match is going to be as bad as him and The Undertaker. And it's not going to be Gunther's fault.
No.
He's going to do the best he can with what he's got. And I have no desire I'm going to watch the match, but I don't care. I don't give a damn about this match whatsoever. Who asked for this? I know they were leading up to it at one point when Gunther, got in Goldberg's face and shit. But where was the clamor for this? Where were the fans saying, I want Goldberg against Gunther? Nobody.
The only thing I could be happy about is, yes, it's got Goldberg back under a contract, but a playable character in a wrestling game. So I can have...
But you could have done that without having a stupid match.
I know, but here's the thing. The reason why they took him out of last year's game, his contract, his legend deal, expired.
Whatever. I'd rather just create him and then not worry about having him around.
Yeah, it's such a pain in the ass, though.
And to sacrifice Jey Uso. They did the same thing with Goldberg and Kevin Owens. Goldberg beat Kevin Owens and then had the title match with Brock Lesnar. You didn't need the belt for that.
No.
You don't need the belt for this. I mean, I'm happy Gunther's champion because I think he's a good heel champion, but I just don't care. I don't. I think Jesse Ventura is going to fucking tear Goldberg apart in that match. He's going to be so fucking sarcastic through that entire match, it's going to make me laugh my ass off. He's going to cheer for Gunther through the whole friggin' match, and he's just going to make Michael Cole and McAfee's life hell through that match, and I'm going to love it. It's going to be great. Because if you heard the way he tore Damian Priest for, walking out of the cage, if he has any reaction like that to Goldberg, it's going to be great.
Absolutely. Should we talk about what's behind the hard camera?
Go right ahead, man.
Bash at the Beach.
No.
Sorry, not Bash at the Beach. The Great American Bash.
Yep.
What the fuck year was this? I think it was 94 or 95.
95.
95.
You were close. You got halfway. You were half and half, yeah.
Because he never used to have the bunny.
Dave Sullivan.
Yep.
Supposed kayfabe brother of Kevin Sullivan.
Yes.
Yep. This was the kind of a weird time in WCW where you had Hulk Hogan and you had Macho Man Randy Savage and you were kind of going back to all their old feuds, And this is an entertaining pay-per-view in my opinion. So,
this is what I was taking a look back at. It was like some of the old 95 stuff.
Yeah, 95 WCW is kind of hit or miss with a lot of their stuff, but I enjoy it. So, but you've got a lot of stuff going on right now. Ron Killings is not R-Truth anymore, even though the friggin' announcers are calling him Truth.
It's like, no!
He says, I'm Ron Killings. Call him Ron Killings. It's stupid. But he's getting some spotlight now, which is great. He's in a feud with John Cena, and he's acting all tough, which is awesome. So,
my favorite part and I think it was leading up into the very last time that you seen Hulk Hogan in a match with the red and yellow before NWO, where he's in the Legion of Doom's lair. It's not hot.
Oh, I don't remember any of that, but
shit. I gotta find out what Monday Nitro was, because I might pick that for a pick as well.
You already picked two things for that.
I know, but later on down the road.
Yeah, all right. There's just a lot going on. The wrestling with Evolve and LFG and AAA now, and I'm not complaining. I love watching wrestling. There's just so much fucking shit to watch.
So much to cover.
Yeah, and a lot of it is good. Not gonna lie, a lot of it is good. But the Goldberg's around, so you didn't get a chance to watch this, but Double or Nothing from AEW on May 25th. That's how long it's been since we've recorded. I thought this was a good pay-per-view. I think AEW delivers on all their pay-per-views. The first match was a stretcher match, Mark Briscoe against Ricochet. They used tables, chairs, stretchers, buckets. Mark Briscoe did a froggy bow from the apron through a table onto Ricochet at one point. That was pretty cool. Ricochet uses his golden scissors and put Briscoe in the ambulance to win, which I know that Tony Khan is a fan of old wrestling, but that's not a stretcher match. Stretcher match was you had to pull them across a line that was painted on the floor. If you have to put them in the ambulance, that's an ambulance match. I love AEW, but there's little things I'm going to nitpick, and that's one of them.
Oh.
You pushed two different kinds of matches into one that didn't need to be there. Fine if you wanted to put him in the ambulance after the bell rings, to kind of make the point, that's fine. And they use the ambulance later on in the night anyways, but just little things like that kind of bother me sometimes.
Kind of like wrestling fans getting the belt signed by somebody that never held the fucking thing.
Yeah, that's stupid too. For the AEW tag titles, the Sons of Texas, which is Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, against the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, with MJF on the outside and MVP on commentary. MJF tried to help and it backfired, but the Hurt Syndicate retained anyways. So that's pretty cool. The Hurt Syndicate is really one of the only legit teams that they have right now, other than FTR, but FTR is doing other stuff. The Continental title...
Oh, you don't like the Young Bucks?
Not anymore. Speedball Mike Bailey against Okada. It was pretty much a showcase for Bailey. He did all his stuff. And I know I'm going to sound like Jim Cornette when I say this, but Okada is not doing fuck all in his matches. I'm hoping in this upcoming match with Omega, he does a little bit more than he's been doing. A drop kick into the Ultimo Weapon, and then the Rainmaker was pretty cool. So what happened was Mike Bailey went to do the Ultimo Weapon, which is a flipping, double knee, and Okada caught him with a drop kick as he was coming around, and then hit him with the Rainmaker for the win. So that was a cool sequence, but it feels like he's not trying. It just, I don't know. I was watching some of his old Japan stuff of him and Omega, and he was just doing twice as much in those matches as he's doing now. So I'm hoping that he'll pick it up a little bit in this match with Omega, seeing how it's in a stadium and it's one of their big shows. The women's title, Toni Storm against Mina Shirakawa. I thought this was a great match. Toni Storm hit a headbutt in Storm Zero and got the win. And I think they kissed after the match. And then I find out on TikTok that Toni Storm is bi, so that makes a lot of sense. And she's with, I think she's still with Juice Robinson, so, maybe Juice Robinson's getting the best of both worlds, too. Mina worked on Storm's leg the whole match. I thought she did some very innovative figure fours, and I wrote they kissed after the match. This match you've got to see. I got to give you the flash drive with it on it. Anarchy in the Arena. Swerve came out dressed like Predator. He had the mask and everything, and he had like Predator-looking gear, which was really cool. And Kenny Omega said, "We need some music," and they played "I'm So Excited" by the Pointer Sisters, which was funny. And then he said, no, I need some mid-2000 or early 2000s alternative rock, which to me, Drowning Pool is not alternative rock, but I'll give Kenny the benefit of the doubt. And they played Let the Bodies Hit the Floor, which was awesome, which was really cool. And Swerve did a dive right at one of the best points in the song, so that was really cool. The crowd sang along. It was just chaos and weapons. It was exciting to watch, but it was just different camera shots everywhere, and they were doing split screens and stuff. Swerve did a double stomp off a forklift, which was pretty funny. They made Hobbs look like a beast. His spine busters are fucking tremendous. The way he snaps him off like Arn Anderson did. I love watching Hobbs wrestle. I think it was one of the Bucks had a staple gun, and he stapled Hobbs in the back, and he just turned around and looked like, "I'm gonna fuck you up." He just no-sold it and smiled. Ooh. It was fucking great. Marina Shafir stapled Swerve's tongue to, I think it was the ring mat, which was kind of funny. And then after the match, Swerve showed that the staple was still in his tongue, which was kind of funny. Willow and Swerve did the Young Bucks Meltzer driver, which was kind of cool. The Death Riders all got locked into the ambulance. I didn't even write down who. It was Swerve's team against the Death Riders. Omega did a one-winged angel off the stage through an exploding table. Swerve did a Swerve stomp with thumbtack sneakers, his new Reebok sneakers.
Nice.
So Swerve's team won.
You mean tell me they didn't have the Death Riders win?
Yeah, I know, right? Crazier things have happened.
Did we have picks for those or no?
I don't think we did. And then the Paragon, which is Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. That bunch has had more names than I can count. Undisputed Era and all that stuff. I guess the Don Callis family, I fast-forwarded through this. It's a 4.5 hour fucking show. I'm sorry. I love the Undisputed Era. I like Adam Cole, but no. Fletcher won with a brain buster. The Don Callis family.
Brain Bruster?
Yeah, Brain Bruster. That's a new one. The Don Callis family beat down the Paragon, and Brody King and Ishii came out, and Tanahashi, and he limped his way to the ring because his knees are completely fucking shot. Not criticizing, just,
not as bad as Goldberg's knees.
No, it's just, but Tanahashi helped clear the ring, and he's the president of New Japan right now, so he got a huge pop from that crowd. That was pretty cool. And the main event was Hangman Adam Page versus Will Ospreay, the Owen Hart Cup final. It was back and forth struggle of a match, a really great match. Adam Page won with a huge buckshot lariat. I was really surprised that they didn't give Will Ospreay the win. I'm hoping Adam Page wins at All In. Get done with this Death Rider shit. Moxley needs to go away for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's not working. It hasn't been working for a long time, and I just want to see it go away. So that's AEW Double or Nothing. You want to do the crate?
Yes.
All right. So this crate came in June. No, May. Came at the end of May. But it's been that long since we recorded. I have opened this. We know what's in it, but we like unboxing these.
I love what came in it.
I put everything right back in it, so, But I really enjoy this shirt. I think this shirt is really
love
cool.
this shirt.
It's Rob Van Dam and Sabu. Their tag team that they were in ECW. I love that shirt. This is really cool. This is one of the soft ones.
I've been wearing this for a night shirt.
I really like this. The Hardys. I love these soft ones. These soft shirts that Pro Wrestling Tees puts in. I wear a lot of these for work shirts because they're so goddamn comfortable.
I wear them for night shirts.
Yeah. And then the Outrunners. I think we need to do an Outrunner style video wearing these.
I gotta find. I'm hoping it's still in the crate. I gotta find it.
Yeah, but this is really cool. Truth Magnum and Turbo. I can't remember Turbos, but I'm not excited about next month because Paul Walterhauser is going to be in that one. I really don't. He's some actor or whatever. I don't know. This I was happy about. ICP. I'm still a juggalo. I got one of the Chase ones, the JCW Violent J.
That's what I want to see.
And Shaggy 2 Dope.
That's fucking sick.
I think this is badass.
I have these ones already hanging up on the wall.
I don't know if they make protectors for these, but I really want to get something for that because I also have a Shockmaster one, which is really cool. This made me happy. This really made me happy.
Yes!
Tugboat, or Typhoon and Earthquake, the natural disasters as air fresheners. I don't even know if I'm ever going to open these because I think they're so cool. And a Los Guerreros Lowrider.
I love the pin.
That's really cool. I hate that these are only coming every other month now, but I still really like them. And then the Dark Order, Alex Reynolds and John Silver autographs. I like that they're actually Alex Reynolds is really good. John Silver's is alright. And then from the Heavenly Bodies and the Body Donnas, Dr. Tom Pritchard. I like that too.
Yes.
That's cool. Even though it's kind of a lazy signature, I still like it.
It's still better than one of them that we saw.
Yeah, I have to say that the crates have been really good, and
I was really happy about the ICP.
No, I really like that. Even though they spoiled it by having Violent J do a video, and they spoiled something for next month's crate. It's a King of the Deathmatch t-shirt with Mick Foley and Terry Funk.
Damn it!
So, that's going to be one of the shirts. I get it. They do it because they want people to buy them. But as somebody that's already subscribed, it kind of sucks when you spoil them.
Yes.
Even if it's just one item. But I really enjoy getting the crates, and I love unboxing them, so...
Hey, there's your fan that's dressed like Hulk Hogan.
He was always around, from like 92 all the way through. Did you watch any of Worlds Collide? the AAA and WWE.
Bits and pieces of it on Facebook.
All right. It was very cool to see the AAA and WWE logos in the same ring. I thought that was great. I love that they bought AAA. That's really cool. There's so much footage that they can use. So many of these, like Psycho Clown and Mr. Iguana, there's so many luchadors that are really good that they can use. So
I'm hoping that they add a lot of like the old archive stuff from AAA
I do
too. Like Peacock and stuff.
I think a lot of it,
awesome.
I think a lot of it they're going to put on YouTube, which I'm fine with.
Right.
You know, because I have the premium YouTube, so I'm not going to get the ads, so that's fine.
I'm debating on getting YouTube Premium.
I like it because you can download videos. That's how when we had our when we had my tablet up on our table to show our show, I used downloaded episodes of our show,
nice.
As the playlist for it. As much as I don't really care for Rey Mysterio right now, he's the perfect person to open the show.
Yes.
One of the most famous luchador, in my opinion, the most famous luchador ever. You can debate that all you want, but I'm going to say Rey Mysterio is the most famous luchador ever. Corey Graves and Conan were the announce team. Love that.
Ooh.
Even though Conan, he stumbled a little bit. He kind of talked over Corey Graves a few times. And then again, Corey Graves talked over Conan a couple of times when he was trying to get a point out. But I don't think Conan has done a lot of commentary. So
you want to know who would have been great on commentary? If they could have got him? Vampiro.
Yeah, Vampiro was really good in Lucha Underground, so that would be really cool. The first match was Octagon Jr., Mr. Iguana, and Aerostar, who was in Lucha Underground, so that's a name, versus Lince Dorado, who was part of the Lucha House Party in WWE.
Lucha! Sorry, I just had to do it.
Cruz del Toro from, is he? No, he's not from the LWO. He's from Santos Escobar's group.
Yes.
Legado del Fantasma. And Dragon Lee of the LWO. In a 6-man. If you don't know a lot about Lucha, they do a lot of 6-man / trios matches. That's pretty much what the culture is based on, is 6-man matches.
Yes, and you won't see a lot of tag-ins.
They did do some, but Lucha rules, once somebody goes outside the ring, somebody else can come in, which kind of makes it so that there's not a lot of rules, which, whatever, it's a different culture. They enjoy it. And I gotta say, I really loved this. I think this pay-per-view was better than Money in the Bank later in the day, so.
And where we got our first taste of this was WCW.
Oh yeah, with the cruiserweights. Yeah,
yes.
Definitely. That's where you... But I've never been a huge Lucha fan, but it was a great show. Mr. Iguana is going to be a huge star in WWE.
Oh, definitely.
He's going to sell a crap load of merch. They're going to do awesome with trading cards for him. It's going to be just tremendous.
And it's up to you if you want to do a double, go half and half on this. I found the actual puppet itself.
Right. Yeah, I would like to do that. That'd be cool.
Because I got so many great ideas what to do with it.
He's gonna sell merch like crazy. And I saw somebody online saying, well, what if he doesn't speak English? Who gives a shit? That's the thing. The thing with Io Sky and Asuka, where they were talking Japanese back and forth with each other, and the only English word was bitch by Io Sky, was one of the most entertaining fucking things they've done in years.
Absolutely.
Tajiri never spoke English, and he was fucking entertaining as hell with William Regal and Stone Cold.
Yes!
Not everybody has to speak English to be entertaining in wrestling. God, that fucking drives me. Stephanie Vacour, she speaks some English. She speaks enough. Shinsuke Nakamura, what does it matter? I'll never understand why it matters. If they're entertaining, they're entertaining. Hell, Bruno Sammartino spoke English, and half the time you could hardly understand what the fuck he was saying on commentary. Pat Patterson took the S's off the end of words, and you could still understand what he was saying.
Fuck, Iron Sheik.
Yeah. I mean, he was calling people intelligent Jew businessmen, so,
Exactly.
If you don't know that, Google Mean Gene Intelligent Jew Businessman and watch that promo. And Iron Sheik says, you are an intelligent Jew businessman. Just tremendous. Just tremendous. And search Iron Sheik in Turkey. Because
Oh
he
my
literally
God.
chokes a turkey to death in a promo, which is just tremendous. Beats the shit out of a fucking turkey in a cage. It's great. But back to the pay-per-view.
Sorry, we had to make a little sidetrack.
Yeah, Stephanie Vacour and Lola Vice against Dalius and Chica Tormenta. Lola Vice and Stephanie Vacour did a double Devil's Kiss. Tremendous. Just tremendous.
Where's Booker T on commentary? Oh.
No, that ruins it for me. But and Stephanie Vacour got the win. I thought it was a great tag match. And then Legado del Fantasma against Psycho Clown, Pagano, and sometimes I hate these Spanish names. El Hijo Dr. Wagner Jr. So it's the son of Dr. Wagner Jr. So it's the third generation. But just it's unwieldy sometimes saying some of the, like El Hijo del Vikingo, just like, I have it bad enough with like Wheeler Yuta, let alone, some of these other ones, but crazy lucha high spots. And Psycho Clown had a bedazzled, like, Psycho Clown mask that he usually wears. It looked tremendous. He's got that WWE money now, and his stuff is looking badass. So I think he's going to be a huge star too. He's going to sell a shitload of merch. You put him in the ring with Penta, a Psycho Clown Penta feud is just going to be bombs.
Yes.
A couple of missteps, but a great match. If you watch Lucha and you're looking for botches, it's going to happen. Because I'm not saying they choreograph everything, but the style that it is, they go to set up a lot of spots, and some of it takes them setting up certain things, and they're gonna botch some things, so it just happens. Legado del Fantasma got the win. And then they did a 4-way match for the NXT North American title. Ethan Page, Ray Phoenix, Javon Evans, and Laredo Kid. Crazy high flying from Phoenix and Javon Evans. Javon Evans, I think he's the boy with bounce. He's got some hops. That dude he's got a vertical leap like crazy and can do some awesome stuff. Page retained, pinning Laredo Kid. I didn't expect any of the luchadors to beat Ethan Page, at this. It's going to be one of the NXT guys that does it, I think, so. And then the main event for the Mega Championship, El Hijo del Vikingo against Chad Gable. Great clash of styles, back and forth. Chad Gable is just tremendous with whatever he does.
He is on fire.
Yep. I didn't realize that Vikingo was so good on groundwork. He is a really good chain wrestler. So Gable did a moonsault through the announce table onto Vikingo, which is cool. Vikingo hit an awesome Phoenix Splash over the ropes. Like he stood on the second rope and he did it over the top rope. And a Phoenix Splash is like a twisting, like 450. It's crazy the way he did it. Vikingo retained after doing a Poison Rana and a 630. This was better than Money in the Bank, in my opinion. I thought it was really, really good, and I hope they do more. I'm sure they're going to incorporate the luchadors more into the product. But if they're going to do special AAA events before WWE pay-per-views, like they do NXT, and make it, stack the weekends, because that's what they do. They're trying to get as much money out of everybody that they can. So if they can stack more, they can do NXT, and then they can do AAA, and then they can do the WWE event. Or if they're going to counter-program AAA against AEW, like they do with NXT, and Saturday night's main event, which they're doing against All In, they're doing the Saturday night's main event, that Goldberg's wrestling in, is going up against All In. So they're trying to take the same thing WWF and WCW did back in the day. They're trying to pull viewers away from each other, which, whatever. Tony Khan's got enough money where that company's going to go as long as he wants it to go. So you're not really going to... I don't care if there's 5 fans in the crowd. He's going to do it because he wants to do it. And for their pay-per-views, AEW is always going to get a loud enough and a big enough crowd where it's going to be feasible for them to keep doing it. So, did you watch any of Money in the Bank?
I fast forward through a lot of it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
They are doing the voiceover with the walk into the arena with the wrestlers way too much. It was cool at first when they were doing new things, but now every fucking show, they show the wrestlers walking in, and they're talking over what matches they're going to be in. Stop fucking doing that. Do the promo videos where you talk about all the matches and you use all the footage showing all the feuds and you put some cool music behind it like you used to do back in the day. These walk-in shots are fucking abysmal and I'm sick of seeing them. Where are the drone shots that they've been doing?
Right.
You know, like they were doing all this innovative stuff for a while, and then it's like Kevin Dunn is directing again, and they've just gone back to every old trope that they used. I was so happy with all the innovation and shit, and now it's like, well, this is working, but we're just going to keep going. We're just going to keep doing it. How many times do I need to see Jade Cargill walking into the arena, dragging her bag behind her, and they talk about her match? I'm sick of seeing it. It just, are you?
Yeah.
I'm fucking sick of seeing it. I just, whatever.
You want to know what I miss? This kind of stuff.
Oh, the Blue Bloods with William Regal and Earl Robert Eaton. Yeah, that's
no, the backstage stuff with the.
Oh yeah, yeah. They don't do enough of the backstage interviews enough anymore. But there'll never be another Mean Gene, so it's kind of hard to do. And granted, he's not paying attention to this. We just have it on as so we're not just staring into the camera.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've mentioned this many times, but that's what we do.
But ADHD brain over here, people. Yeah, right. I like to trail off.
I did like the look of the show. It looks like they're kind of trying to make the PLEs look a little different, but it's not the way it used to be, and whatever. And I heard something about this is the way it is at this arena, but they had lights on all the seats, and it showed that a lot of the seats were empty. And they were saying that like the crowd was coming in late, but there was a lot of fucking empty seats on the camera side. And it looked like they filled in later. Some of them did. But they turned off those lights pretty fucking quick. And it just looked... I think it looked bad. Because you saw all these flashing, green lights, and then it went to white, and then it went back to... I didn't think it looked good. And it really showed off how many of the seats were empty on the camera side. So I don't think that's the look they want to go for again. If they did that, that was a bad idea. And if that's part of the arena... I guess they expect their arena to be full all the time because it looked bad to me, but whatever. The women's Money in the Bank match started first. Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Naomi, Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, and Rhea Ripley. At one point, Stephanie Vaquer climbed the ladder with Julia doing the octopus on her back. The amount of core strength that it takes to climb a ladder with somebody on your back with one of your arms behind your back, I don't care if they're doing it in a working way. The amount of strength that it takes to have somebody else's body weight, dead weight, that's different than doing a squat with weights. When somebody, a person is on your back while you're doing that, that's crazy. That's just amazing to me. And they noted that Stephanie Vaquer had 3 matches within 24 hours.
Yes.
At 3 different events. That's badass. They made a ladder bridge at one point, which they always do in these matches. Spot. Stephanie Vaquer did the Devil's Kiss on the ladder.
To Rhea Ripley.
It was great. Naomi won, which is fine. Like, whatever. I wasn't really invested in who was going to win this match. I didn't really... Rhea Ripley doesn't need it at this point. She's as over as she's gonna get, and I was kind of thinking Alexa Bliss was gonna win, but
no,
she doesn't need it either. Same with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair doesn't need titles anymore. No, even though I can't stand her. But
and I loved that on SmackDown, people were fucking booing her ass out of the fucking building. And she stormed out.
The fans are tired of Charlotte Flair. They really are, and it's not. We don't like you. It's we want you to go away and never come back.
So we're sorry, Zoe.
Yeah,
we're sorry.
She loves to bust on me. This is a friend of mine that busts on me because she calls me Charlotte Flair's #1 fan. So, the next match was Dominic Mysterio against Octagon Jr. They had set that up at Worlds Collide. Dominic, was talking crap to Octagon, so. It was funny when Octagon came out to the ring, he tried to high-five a guy that had a cup in his hand. And he tried to high-five the hand with the cup, which was he was left hanging, which I thought was kind of funny. And it was cool to see Conan and Psycho Clown in the audience. It was a good match. Liv Morgan helped Dom win. Dom won with the frog splash, so that was cool. The Intercontinental title, Becky Lynch against Lyra Valkyria. Becky used the tights to win the title. I thought it was a good match. Lyra held up Becky's hand, and Becky wanted to do it on all sides. And then she didn't snap, because it's not snaps anymore, it's Velcro. She Velcroed the title around Becky's waist and then gave her a German suplex. So that feud's not over. So
No.
And I know I've quoted Jim Cornette a lot. I have to disagree. He keeps saying that Lyra Valkyria is not over. The crowd doesn't respond to her. I think that's complete and utter bullshit. I don't know what show you're watching, but then again, he also fast forwards through the fucking women's matches all the time. So how would he know whether she's over or not? You know, he says a lot of these women aren't over, but then he doesn't take the time to actually watch the fucking match. You know? So, I don't know. I like listening to Jim Cornette's podcast, but it's getting more and more where I'm starting to disagree with him on a lot of stuff. And I hate saying that because he's a smart guy, but kind of like Vince Russo. Has blinders on to what's really going on a lot of the time, you know.
What about some of the shit I sent to you with him?
Yeah, why don't you talk about some of the stuff he said?
Saying that WWE, Triple H has no mind for wrestling and shit like that. It's like, motherfucker, are you fucking stupid?
My thing is that Vince Russo has not done anything with a wrestling company since like 2011, 2012. What if you're so smart? Why is no other company employing you? You tried to get into Lucha Underground and they said no. Tony Khan has not, as far as I know, even talked to you. You're not relevant anymore.
No.
The whole, Vince McMahon was Vince Russo's filter. That makes a lot of sense since you have not had much success since. Granted, TNA, you did a lot of good stuff in TNA. But you did a lot of shitty stuff in TNA, too. There was a lot of Fire Russo chants, and it was justified with a lot of stuff you did. So, your opinion, it really... I don't watch any of Vince Russo's stuff.
No, and anything I scroll through on Facebook that has to do with wrestling, it just pops up, and that motherfucker just happens to pop up.
Yeah. He doesn't pop up a lot in mine, but...
I can't stand the motherfucker.
Yeah.
Bro!
Yeah. Then the main event, this was a very short, it wasn't short, but there was not a lot of matches. The men's Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Penta, Solo Sikoa, El Grande Americano, and Andrade. One guy you knew wasn't going to win was Andrade. Another guy you knew wasn't going to win was Solo Sikoa. So that really left you with Seth Rollins, LA Knight, Penta, and I thought it was going to be El Grande Americano, because I thought the content of him being Chad Gable and El Grande Americano at the same time, and El Grande having the Money in the Bank, and I thought it would have been the funniest fucking thing ever if El Grande Americano ran down with the briefcase, but he didn't have the fucking mask on. How fucking funny would that have been if Chad Gable revealed himself to be El Grande Americano by running out trying to cash in the Money in the Bank? How fucking funny would that have been?
Right?
That would have been R-Truth, Santino Marella funny shit. I thought that would have been tremendous, but he didn't win.
No, they went with Seth.
Penta did a Mexican Destroyer on the ladder. Braun Breaker did a huge spear on El Grande Americano. Bronson Reed did a Tsunami on Andrade. Fatu and JC Mateo came out, and Fatu did a pop-up Samoan drop on Bronson Reed, which was just... If you've never seen Bronson Reed, that dude's 400 if he's an ounce. And for Fatu to do it... I know Bronson Reed has to jump some, but you gotta be a fucking beast to do a pop-up fucking Samoan drop on a guy that big. And then Fatu did a Uranagi on Solo through the ladder, so that... He turned on him, which is... Solo's going to have a group. I think Jacob Fatu's going to have a group because Jimmy Uso came up to help Jacob Fatu. Hikuleo made his debut on dark match on SmackDown. I think it was main event, like a taping main event. I don't know. I haven't watched main event in years. You know, I know it's on Peacock. I probably could. You know, there might be good matches on it. I don't know. Maybe I'll check out the one with Hikuleo at some point. I don't know. But there's so many Samoans. Not complaining. I like that everybody they've got is talented, I think. But I love Jacob Fatu, and I like Solo Sikoa. What do we call him?
Mini Umaga.
Baby Umaga, Mini Umaga. Yeah. I mean, he's not mini, but he does the same. He does the Samoan spike, all that stuff. It was a great match. Seth Rollins won. So, you know, grab your sign.
Drum roll, please.
If you've stuck up with us this long, thank you, because there's been so much to get through. It's you know,
drum roll, please.
It's time for Nick's picks, and you picked one that talk about a slog.
Oh,
This was hard to get through.
oh my God!
What did you pick?
Capital Punishment from 2011.
With R-Truth, which is very timely,
Yes.
against John Cena for the WWE title. This was R-Truth in his company conspiracy / Little Jimmy era, which showed the range that he had and led up to what he is now, which is fine. But this pay-per-view was not December to Dismember 2006 bad, but it wasn't good.
No. I can't believe that somebody said this to me at work, though. Oh, this would be better than the meaning referring to Saturday night's main event. Oh, the second match where R-Truth and John Cena clash is going to be better. And they referring to the SmackDown one.
Oh, yeah.
Where they fought, and it's like, motherfucker, this would be the third time that they fought each other.
Yeah, yeah. But I wish they would go back up to the hype videos. I mentioned that earlier, like they do back then. The set looking like the White House was pretty cool. I really did like that. The first match was for the U.S. title, Kofi Kingston against Dolph Ziggler, who had Vicky Guerrero with him.
Excuse me.
Right, and this was 14 years ago. It was amazing to see how different those two were back then.
Yes.
Kofi Kingston coming out with the reggae music, and Dolph Ziggler with I Am Perfection. Dolph used the sleeper, and for once, I agree with Booker T. Dolph Ziggler put his foot on the rope and pushed off right in front of the referee and kept the sleeper on. Booker T is right. He should have broke the hold because he touched the ropes. Like whether Kofi did it or Ziggler did it, should have broken the hold. And it led to Dolph Ziggler winning and becoming the U.S. champion. So Kofi Kingston had a bitch at that point. He had a gripe. And I don't agree with Booker T very often, but I agree with him at that point.
And I don't think they went anywhere with that after.
I can't remember. It's 2011, there's a lot of things I remember, and there's a lot of things I don't. So.
I try to stay oblivious to the old that era.
Yep. Next was The Miz against Alex Riley. Alex Riley used to be the stooge for The Miz. We both talked about this. Heel Michael Cole was insufferable at this point in WWE.
He definitely needed to get off the Miz's dick.
Yeah, especially when Miz was involved. I think Alex Riley has one of the most underrated entrance themes ever. Say It to My Face by Downstate. I think that's an awesome theme song. He attacked Michael Cole at ringside, threw him over the table, which was cool. And then he beat The Miz with an impaler-looking DDT, kind of like Gangrel used to do. I thought that was pretty cool. And then they never really did anything with Alex Riley, despite how popular he was. And then they did a thing in the backstage with a fake Barack Obama and Sergeant Slaughter. That shows you how far back that goes. And then they had Alberto Del Rio against the Big Show. Was it Rodriguez that had hit Big Show with the car?
Yes.
And, so Big Show jump-started the match in the aisle. And then Mark Henry came out and World's Strongest Slam through the announce table to the Big Show. And then Del Rio worked on the leg, through the whole match and eventually It was a referee stoppage, so Del Rio won.
I think this is right in the middle of his Hall of Pain.
Yeah. Well, and Big Show had attacked Mark Henry on the SmackDown previous. So, and then they did the Intercontinental title. Wade Barrett came out insulting the crowd. So it was Wade Barrett against Ezekiel Jackson. I thought it was a good match, but you could definitely tell Ezekiel Jackson had not had a lot of match time. This was not a good match, and he was a nice guy. I met him, but this was not a good match. He did a lot better when he was in Lucha Underground. But he won the Intercontinental title with the torture rack. Then CM Punk against Rey Mysterio. This was when CM Punk was the leader of the New Nexus, which I thought had some legs because he did the Straight Edge Society, which was really cool. Did you notice that Rey Mysterio's gear and his mask was a takeoff of the Straight Edge Society mask that CM Punk wore in his feud with Rey Mysterio?
Yes!
Fucking tremendous. That was like when Velveteen Dream did the Prince Puma style gear when he wrestled Ricochet. I love that kind of stuff. Little attention to detail like that is fucking great. But to note, CM Punk did the Pipe Bomb promo 8 days after this pay-per-view. So that's a little thing there. I would love to see Punk have a group again. I didn't care about Ray in this era. I thought it was stupid. I think he had run his course at this point. You know, he was another guy that was just there at that point to me. I don't know. Maybe he was a big merch seller. I don't know. Punk won with a GTS. And then the World Heavyweight title, Christian against Randy Orton. I really enjoyed the Christian-Randy Orton feud in 2011. I thought it was really good. Christian being the whiny guy because he lost his title 5 days into his run, and then he kept trying to get matches with Orton, and Teddy Long was saying no, and then he would end up getting matches. It was a good match with Orton selling concussion symptoms. Christian got more and more frustrated because he couldn't win the match. And then RKO out of nowhere. But Christian had his foot under the bottom rope, so he ended up getting a rematch the next month at the next pay-per-view. And I think that's spit in Orton's face.
Yes.
And Orton got disqualified, and Christian won the title by disqualification, which is fucking great.
And it led into their match for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Which it was very underrated match, but
I think so.
What led to Christian being RKO'd on the steel steps.
Yep. Do you remember what the next match was? The crowd did not give two shits about this match.
I can't fucking remember.
Jack Swagger against Evan Bourne.
Oh, yeah.
All you heard during this entire match was the commentary and just the crowd murmuring and talking with themselves. They did not give a fuck about this match. They didn't react to a single fucking thing that happened during this match. And the one move that the crowd wanted to see Evan Bourne do, he missed it, and then he won with a victory roll. They wanted him to do the airborne and win the match, which was the shooting star press, which is amazing. Matt Sydal / Evan Bourne, one of the top shooting star presses ever. But the crowd did not give a fuck about this match. And if it was like, pandemic era, Vince McMahon would have pumped so much crowd noise into this match.
Yeah.
It would have been crazy. But the crowd just did not. And it wasn't a good match. It was just, this was a match that would have been in the second segment on Raw.
Definitely would have.
In the PG era. But it was not good. I wrote, and the crowd goes mild after Evan Bourne won. And then they did like a thing with the fake Obama in the ring. I wrote peak Vince McMahon stupid shit. Booker T, did the spinneroonie, and then he had the impersonator do the spinneroonie. I don't know. And then they did an awesome conspiracy R-Truth video to lead up to the John Cena match.
Which you don't do enough of.
No, they don't. It showed what Truth can really do. So John Cena versus R-Truth for the WWE title. Truth came close to winning a couple of times, which I thought was really cool. And just out of nowhere, Truth goes outside the ring, puts on a kid's John Cena hat, puts it on backwards, and takes the kid's drink and starts drinking it and hands it back to the kid, and the kid just throws the drink in his face. John Cena comes out, throws R-Truth into the ring, AA 1, 2, 3. Anticlimactic as fuck.
Yep.
It just, like, R-Truth didn't even try to fight the AA. Like, he was so disoriented by getting a drink thrown in his face that he couldn't. I can understand an RKO out of nowhere, but the AA, like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. But it was just not a good show.
No.
I hate that you make me watch some of these shitty shows.
But it was the only match that they did.
Yeah.
For those two.
It was. I want to preview the next couple of events that are happening. The 28th of this month, supposedly, in Saudi Arabia, there's going to be Night of Champions, but with all the stuff that's going on in the Middle East right now, and Saudi Arabia being in missile range of Iran, they've opened up the airspace, but, you know, they got hypersonic missiles, and they said that, you know, Americans are going to be targets. Even if there's a ceasefire, it doesn't guarantee that they're going to live up to it. Just saying. And I wouldn't want to go over there if I was them, no matter how much they were paying me at this point.
I'll be like, no, fuck you.
But they are doing the King of the Ring finals. Cody Rhodes against Randy Orton. Who are you picking for Cody or Randy Orton?
That's a toughie. They're probably going to stay with Cody. So Cody.
Okay, yeah, I was going to go with Cody too, so we'll put that down. And the women's final is Asuka against Jade Cargill for the Queen of the Ring.
Asuka.
You going with Asuka? All right, I think they're going to give it to Jade. I think somebody's going to come out and screw Asuka out of it. That's just me. But U.S. title, Solo Sikoa against Fatu. Jacob Fatu.
I gotta go with my baby Umaga.
Oh, okay, you're going with the Solo. All right. I'm going to say Jacob Fatu because I don't think they're going to take it away from him that quick. A street fight, Rhea Ripley against Raquel Rodriguez.
Rhea.
Yeah, I'm going with Rhea too. I don't think they're going to give it to Raquel. Sami Zayn against Karrion Kross. This was just added, which I'm really happy about.
That's fucking tough.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't done much with fucking Cross, so I have to say Sammy.
Okay. I think it's going to be Kross because Sammy's been kind of losing a lot lately, and I think that's going to continue. I think he's going to turn heel. I really do. You know, but, and then, you know, join Kevin Owens when Kevin Owens eventually comes back. But, I don't know, you know.
Who knows?
Yeah, and then the main event for the WWE title, like, you know, 2011 they did it at Money in the Bank. Now they're doing it again.
John.
Cena, you going with Cena? I'm going with Cena too because I don't think Punk's going to be the guy to win it, especially in Saudi Arabia.
I want to see R-Truth be the one, well, Ron Killings be the one to end John Cena's reign.
I do too. You know, and then have, even if he holds it for 10 seconds and Seth Rollins cashes in and Cena beats up Killings after winning it and Seth Rollins, you know, comes out and cashes in the Money in the Bank. That's fine. Just get it off of Cena. Ron Killings gets that moment in the sun, and then he can say he's a 3-time world champion because he was a 2-time NWA champion.
You know, hell, it leads into a new feud.
Yeah. Yep, I totally agree. And then on July 12th, AEW All in Texas in the stadium. Let's see. Mercedes Moné against Toni Storm for the women's title.
Toni Storm.
Going with Toni. I don't want to, but I'm going to say Mercedes because she just won the CMLL title.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah, I think they're going to have her win, and I think it's fucking dumb.
I'm over that.
She is the Charlotte Flair of AEW.
Yes.
I don't want to see her. I don't want to see her be a champion. I don't want it anymore.
Done with it.
Yep. And then Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada. Winner take all, the Continental title against the International title. You going with Okada or Kenny Omega?
Kenny.
I'm going with Kenny too. And then they're doing the world title, Jon Moxley against Adam Page.
Adam Page.
I'm going with Page too. I think they're finally going to get the fucking belt off of Jon Moxley. And then they're doing 2 casino gauntlet matches, one for the men, one for the women. I don't know who's going to be in them, so I'm not going to make picks on those. Cause
nope.
You know, I'd like to see Julia Hart win because I think she's doing really well. I kind of think it's going to be Megan Bayne because I think they're going to do more with her. And I also want to say, because you know how I like her, Deonna Purrazzo is in the Women's Pure Tournament in Ring of Honor. She had a Pure match with Marty Bell. Amazing. They had a really good Pure Wrestling match. I thought it was really, really good. And I'm not saying that just because I really like Deonna Purrazzo. I thought it was a really good match, and it really showed what both of them can do. So if you can check that out, Deonna Purrazzo against Marty Bell on Ring of Honor, definitely check that out. I'm sure there's more events that we're going to talk about. There's going to be more WWE, more AEW, more Ring of Honor, more TNA to talk about. I mean, Trick Williams is from NXT, is the TNA champion right now. Mike Santana's been on NXT. The crossover is really working well, I think. So I'm really happy with everybody we met at the Wrestling Classic. Thank you very much to Captain's Corner and Zombie Hideout for putting it on and being so nice, for putting us in the same table spot that we've been in for the past 3 times. And I want to do something. Remember this. I want you and I to both pick 5 people that we want to see at the next Wrestling Classic. Realistic picks.
Yes.
That we could possibly be there. I want to do that. I think that would be cool. And what I'll do is I'll clip the video out and I'll send it to them so they, you know, because I doubt they're going to watch the whole show.
I'm hoping that they choose some referees.
That would be cool. I would like to see like Mike Chioda or Earl Hebner or James Cordera,
Nick Patrick.
That would be really cool. I would like to see some referees. That would be really cool. But there are a lot of names that I think, you know, would be really cool to meet. So I think that's a cool experiment for us to do. Each of us pick 5 names that are realistic, that could actually be there, and you know.
And I'm gonna be looking at like some of the old footage.
Yep.
To choose.
Yeah. So that's what we'll do for the next episode. And he's already got Nick's picks for the next episode. We're not going to say what they are here. It's going to be a surprise. I really like the ones that he picked this time. They're actually good ones to watch. I'm not saying don't go watch Capital Punishment, because it is cool to see what our truth is now, and then you go back and see what he was doing back then, which was really good stuff. So it's not... And to see Alex Riley win was pretty cool too, but Heel Cole was just fucking horrible.
Yes.
Check out all our social media at Cheap Pop Show, and we're going to be doing more TikTok videos soon when we get the chance. And I have something planned with Zoe, and we're going to be doing a Zoom call, and she's going to be talking about wrestling, and she's going to be doing something special that I think is going to be really cool, because she's a really cool wrestling fan. She likes our show. She's fun to talk to, and I would actually like to do some Zoom stuff with people, you know, wrestlers that we've met. And
yes.
I'd kind of like to do something with Mikey Cheese or, you know, Sergeant Fury or something like that. Absolutely. I think that would be really cool. So we will have more stuff coming. If you're a subscriber and you like the show and you've stuck with us this long, even for the month absence that we took, because I'm sorry, but we needed it.
Yeah.
At least I needed it anyways. I needed a break, and it just to recharge the batteries. So thank you to all our new subscribers. Thanks for checking us out. And follow everything that we do. We're going to have more videos soon. So
I got one thing to say.
Oh, boy.
Hit my music.
I don't have your music queued up.
Oh, motherfucker.
Hang on. I've got it, but... Alright, I'm just going to say it. Pop Guys out.